everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Kimmie. Today we're going to be making a Korean double down. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Kimmie. Today I finally changed my shirt and that's our only update. We're making a chicken sandwich, but not just any chicken sandwich, a double down. So a double down is that very famous chicken sandwich from KFC that is it really a sandwich if it's just two pieces of chicken with stuff in the middle? Yeah, sure, why not? But we're gonna make a different kind today, which is gonna merge together our favorite things, which is KFC style fried chicken and Korean fried chicken. So today we're gonna be making a Korean double down. Recently, Korean fried chicken sandwiches have been on the rise. Not just in fancy places, but also in fast food restaurants. So we wanted to do our version of a Korean chicken sandwich, but with something that we really miss, which is the KFC double down. So we hope you guys make this recipe and follow along. We have a visitor from Korea. What the heck? Today we are making a fried chicken sandwich. Baka my reflection masyadong shiny. We have our special guest. What's his name? Taemin? Do you like Korean fried chicken sandwiches? I like Korean fried chicken sandwiches. So here we have our 4 chicken breasts. This recipe makes 2 chicken sandwiches. If you didn't want to go the double down route, you could just get buns and then this would be enough for 4 chicken sandwiches. Here we have our herbs and spices. Obviously, it's not 11, mostly because a lot of your KFC hacks, spice hacks that you can find online, there are a lot of spices that aren't really readily available in Manila, like celery seed, well, actually, that's pretty much the only one. But the rest I didn't have in my house. So here I show you guys that you can get the flavor pretty close with just a few amount of herbs and spices. The secret here really is the most common thing you can find. You can add any combination of herbs and spices that you like. You can even just use chicken seasoning. The key here is the bouillon cube or the chicken cube or magic syrup, whatever you want to call it. MSG works as well to get that really chickeny, fast foody flavor that you're very familiar with in fast food chicken restaurants. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put our chicken breasts in a bowl. And here I have chicken breasts that are pretty even in thickness. If you have chicken breasts that are really thick on one side as opposed to the other, you want to pound that out, the thick side out first, just so that the chicken is an even thickness all throughout and it cooks evenly when we go to fry it. And I'm just gonna add our herbs and spices. So here I have a combination of ground thyme, ground basil, ground oregano, black pepper, paprika, just a little pinch of salt, and our chicken cube, which I'm just gonna crumble in my fingers. And here you're just going to add a bit of oil, just to wet the spices a little bit and make it easier to rub all around the chicken. And after we added the oil, we're just gonna massage the spices into the chicken, and your hand is the best tool for this, especially if you're using the chicken cube, to just get it all massaged into the chicken and evenly distributed. And the reason why we're seasoning the chicken here and not the flour or the flour is because when you season the flour, most of the flour you end up not using at all. You only use what sticks to the chicken. This way you get the flavor into the chicken, directly onto the chicken, and you can even marinate this for at least 30 minutes on your countertop up to overnight. And that really gets all that flavor into every bite of chicken in your sandwich. And you want to make sure you break up that chicken cube if you are using a cube as opposed to a powder, just so you don't get really extremely salty bites. But as it sits, it will start to dissolve in that oil that you added, so don't worry about that too much. So here I have my chicken all evenly coated and marinated. I will just leave this for about 30 minutes and show you guys the batter and the dredging. So here I have the chicken that's been marinating, and the first thing we're gonna do is make the batter. So this is a combination of a batter and the dredge. So we'll have a wet mix and a dry mix for this chicken to get that really nice crispy texture. So here for the batter, I have a combination of all-purpose flour and rice flour. If you didn't have rice flour, you could also substitute with cornstarch. The important thing here is that you want to use 2 parts of the starch to 1 part of the flour. Using cornstarch or rice flour in this batter will make it lighter and crispier than using all-purpose flour. So you want that combination to get that really nice texture. I also have a teaspoon of baking soda in here, and this will also help with the texture and the crispiness of the final chicken. So here I'm just gonna whisk it all together. And here I have our dredge, which is just flour with salt and a little bit of black pepper. And I'll whisk that as well. So here you have the batter mixture, and here I have a cup of cold water, and I'm just gonna stir in the cold water until a thick batter forms. You're gonna use about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of water here. Just start with a cup and then see how thick it is from there. So once you have all the water in there, it should have the consistency of a thinnish pancake batter. So the secret to a really crispy crust is all the things we put in this batter. And in addition to that, we're also gonna add some of this batter into the dry mix. I'm just gonna use this measuring cup because I already have it. You don't want more than a tablespoon or 2. And the only reason why we're doing this is to create some bigger chunks of flour in the dry mix. And that will attach to the chicken and make all those nice crispy, craggly bits that you see in your fast food fried chicken. As you can see, the flour is starting to clump up a little bit. And those pieces of flour will fry up really nice and crispy on the outside of the chicken. So the first thing you're gonna do with the chicken is go into the dry mix, then the wet mix, then the dry mix again. So here I have our marinated chicken. I'll just cover it in the flour. You wanna make sure you get it everywhere. Then you're going to put it into the wet batter. And again, make sure every piece is covered. Let the excess drip off, and then back into the dry mix. And this is gonna give you a really thick, crispy coating on the chicken. And you can see all those big pieces of flour, and that's gonna become really nice and crispy in the final product. So shake off the excess, and I'll just put it on a tray and continue with the rest of these. So here I have our chicken that's been battered and dredged. I let it rest also after breading for about 10 minutes. And this really lets the batter and the dredge set onto the chicken and make for a stronger and sturdier coating. So I have some oil heating up here at around 375 degrees. And I'm just gonna fry the chicken until it's golden brown and cooked all throughout. It should reach an internal temperature of 165. It will take about 7 to 8 minutes total, so 4 minutes per side. So here I have all the toppings for our Korean double down. You can go anywhere you want with this. The recipe really is for that really nice crunchy fried chicken. Again, we're doing a Korean style double down. So I have kimchi here, some gochujang, and some mayonnaise, which I'm just gonna mix together. Depending on how spicy you like it, you can add more or less. So here's our gochujang mayonnaise, kimchi, sliced cheddar cheese. You can use any cheese you want with this if you want sliced mozzarella. But I like how just the straight up American cheese works with the components of the sandwich and the flavor of the chicken. And here I have some thick cut pork belly or samgyeopsal. On a regular double down, you would have bacon, which is generally just smoked pork belly. And if we're doing a Korean style double down, might as well do our favorite KBBQ meat. So here we have pork belly that I just cooked until it was crispy and golden. So you're gonna fry it until it's golden brown and crispy. They are chicken breasts and they are a little bit thinner, so they will cook through pretty quickly. So you're really just looking for a nice deep golden brown here, about 4 minutes per side. As you can see here, all that flour and that dredge and that batter made a really thick, crispy, KFC looking crust on our chicken breast. So it's been about 4 minutes on the first side and the chicken is nice and golden brown. So I'm just gonna flip these and cook them for another 4 minutes on the other side. As you can see here, all the craggly bits made this chicken super crispy. Oh my lord, look at that. And even if you didn't want to go the sandwich route or the double down route, the recipe for this chicken is so good just to make your regular fried chicken with. It's been about 8 to 10 minutes and the chicken is golden brown on all sides. I'm just going to remove it and drain it on a paper towel. If you had a wire rack, you could drain them on wire racks as well. This just gets rid of any excess oil and keeps your chicken nice and crispy. Oh my lord, look at that! Have you seen a crispier piece of chicken? See, if you really look at it up close, look at all that crispy bits and look at the sound. Look at the sound. Hear the sound. Yum. Okay, so we're gonna let this drain for a little bit and then we're gonna go assemble our sandwiches. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put on the cheese. I want to put the cheese on the chicken while the chicken is still hot. That way you don't have to go and melt it in the oven. The heat from the chicken should melt the cheese just fine. So here, you want to make sure you line up 2 pieces that are kind of the same size to make your sandwiches. So I'm just going to put 2 slices of cheese on the hot chicken, a little bit of our gochujang mayonnaise on the other side. So I'll put our samgyeopsal and some of our kimchi on top. Then I'm gonna top it. It's still hot, so oh my god, and look at that. That is a sandwich if you've ever seen one. Let me assemble the second one and then we'll eat. Thank you for watching the latest episode of Cooking with Kimmie. We made our Korean style KFC inspired double downs with our crispy fried chicken, samgyeopsal, kimchi and cheese and gochujang mayonnaise. We hope you guys try this recipe at home. We hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you next time here. If you guys want us to perform together after eating our delicious chicken sandwiches, like and subscribe and comment down below. The more likes you have, the more likely we'll sing a song about this Korean inspired double down that is super delicious. Love you guys. See you next time. 사랑해. I'm so distracted and a little bit scared.